Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a desk tour. In my last video I did mention that I would be doing this. I've decided to do just a desk tour rather than a room tour because the rest of my room isn't really shareable. If you aren't aware of my current situation, I have recently moved back in with my family, so my office and my bedroom have become one. We are thinking of moving my bedroom into a different room, but that's the whole process, and when I get there, if I eventually get an office room, then I will do an office tour, but for now I thought I would share just my desk space. I'm going to try and keep this intro short, but I did want to let you know quickly that I will have links below to a lot of the things I mention, and some of those links will be affiliate links, but I'll have it like mentioned beside the link whether it's an affiliate one or not. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and I'm going to get started. So this is a little overview of the main desk area. It's basically one end of my room. I don't actually have a wardrobe in my room. My wardrobe is downstairs, so this is pretty much my office, and then behind me I have my bed, and then I also have some other storage which is also office slash craft stuff. I'm not going to go through that today. I'm just going to go through this end, this like desk area. I'll go through the rest of the stuff when I eventually get to a point where I can share a whole like office tour. At this end of my desk I usually have two of these lights, but I've moved one of them for now so I can show you the shelves. I did used to take my studio lights down and like take them back out when I needed them, but I do use them pretty much every day, so I've just left them up now and they just stand there being a bit awkward. Also down here I have my tripod with my camera sat on it usually, and that just stores under there. Again, I used to put my camera away, but I use it too much now, so it stays on the tripod. So this skinny shelf on the end is a Billy bookshelf, and at the top of this I have a load of fake flowers which I used as props for my jewellery shop, but I haven't used those in ages, but I've obviously kept them because they're fake flowers, so they're not gonna die. I also have my pom-pom dispenser thing up there, which was on my desk, but I don't use it that often, so I've moved it off of there and popped it up here. The top shelf I have at the back, like behind the pencils, I have a load of my traveller's notebooks, the standard size ones. I have a pot of colouring pencils, I have a pot of fine liners, I have a little bear that I crocheted, and I have my personal size TN, which currently has some full up inserts in that I need to finish. That's like my 2018/19 one. It's the creative journal I didn't really want to finish because it was the one that was documenting things that happened like over the breakup and stuff, so I just put it on a shelf. I'll come back to it later. On this shelf again I have a load of my standard size TNs, and then at the front I have my smaller ring bound planners. Below that I have my Cricut Joy stuff, and this is kind of like a new shelf. I had to readjust some things and shuffle things around, so I had some space for this. It's not the most ideal storage, but for now it's all together and that's all that matters in my head. I just need it all in one place and get at a ball. Hung on the side here I have my lanyards from planner events. I haven't had a new one of those in a while, but hopefully sometime soon I will start collecting those again. I've shown these before, but I've got mainly Cam's Plannercon, the Big Me, and Plannercon Europe in there. Oh, and also Manchester Planner Bee I think is in there too. On the next shelf I have my personal size planners. I have a load of like knickknacks and things that I have collected on walks. I also have my little UKPA award there. But yeah, these feathers, I've got a pheasant feather, I've got a buzzard feather, and I have a jay feather, all of which I found on walks down the woods, which is really cool. The next shelf down I have my Sizzix Big Shot, and also below that I have my die storage. I don't use this quite as much now. I have my Cricut machine, but I don't want to get rid of them because it is handy to just have them to hand if I need them. If you are someone who has a lot of dies, I would definitely recommend this storage system. I got it from eBay, but you just get like magnetic sheets and stick the dies to it. Down the bottom here I have my postcards box, which I did kind of organise recently. I've just not made any tabs for it, so I've just got these in here dividing up all my different postcards. These are all blank ones, so these are like to send. I then have all my journaling cards, which again I went through and destashed a ton of them because I just don't use them all that often anymore, but I kept some of my favourites because they are handy to have every now and again. And then at the bottom again I sorted through this one recently too, and this is my notes cards. So I've got a load of greetings cards in here and just like random little note cards, so if I want to send a card to someone, that's where I go. It's like my own little card shop. The next, oh, I'm gonna have to move this light. This is the bit that I'm finding so difficult to deal with, is having to like readjust my whole room to get to stuff. Is that safe? Should I sit there? Probably not. Oh, that's making a noise. Right, I'm just going to sit here and hope it doesn't break. These shelves, these little square ones, are from the range. They're kind of like smaller Ikea Kallax style ones. The actual squares aren't 12 by 12. They're a bit more compact, but I actually quite like that because they fit all of my planners in really well. So this is mainly planner storage. At the top though, I have a box which has just spare storage boxes in, and then all of these have envelopes and like packaging in. So if I ever need to send stuff out, I do have other packaging like down and easily accessible, but this is like my main storage for them. Obviously I order packaging in bulk, so I just store it up here until I need it. In this one I have, wow, that almost pulled the whole thing down. This one is my Smashbox. This has all of my Smashbooking supplies in. It also has my Smashbook in that I'm currently using, and then below that I have the rest of my Smashbooks. So these two are finished and full, and then these ones are all empty. These ones are la-di-da ones, which are a bit smaller and a bit different in their system, but they're basically the same thing. They have like the decorative pages and stuff. This one I actually forgot until recently was kind of empty, and I'd emptied it for my Cricut stuff. So along with like the Cricut Joy stuff, I also have like the main Cricut stuff for my Cricut Maker, and that's currently in a basket over the other side of my room, so I need to transfer all of that into here. But yeah, eventually that will have all of my Cricut stuff in there. I then have my A5 planners, which are filling basically 3 of these squares, and I also have my B6 one over here. At the moment I'm using my minty blue B6, so this one isn't in use, but I don't really have anywhere else to put it, so it's just kind of sat there looking a little bit awkward. In here I have more of my personal sized ring planners. I have my little tin of binder clips, and I've got a biscuit box which I didn't want to throw away. Both of these are empty, they're just pretty boxes that I didn't want to throw away. So yeah, this one has spare like canvas bags and shopping bags in. This has a load of yarn and string and stuff. That's from when I made my Christmas pom-pom garland. But yeah, I've got like pom-pom making stuff in there as well. This one is kind of fabric and thread. So I've got like bracelet making stuff and a load of stuff from when I made a dream catcher. Down here I have a load of camera stuff. So I've got spare film, camera cases, my film camera's in there too. So that's more of like hobby photography stuff. And then this one is a bit of a mismatch. I just have a load of random supplies in here. So I've got some magnetic strips, I've got some polymer clay stuff there, I have this sequin elastic stuff, I have some rainbow yarn. Let's move this back because then I can get over here. So that is that side of my desk. This stuff is stuff that I don't use all that often. The most I use from there is probably my Cricut stuff. So moving along from there, I then on my wall have my washi shelf. This is one of my favourite things probably ever. Many of you know, if you've followed me a while, I am a washi hoarder. I don't really know how to describe it. I just love washi. I use it in pretty much every project and I have a lot of it. I cannot help myself when it comes to buying washi. So this is a majority of my collection. I do have some more and you will see that in a minute, but this is my like colour coded system that I have going on, so I can easily just grab for certain colours. But yeah, the actual shelf itself, if you weren't around for that, I made it with my dad. I basically designed it. I drew a design and said, hey, can we make this? And he was like, yes, we can. And so we made it, and then I painted it, and then now it is on my wall. So yeah. Along from that, I have 2 cork boards which were from B&M. This one did have my like monthly overview clipped on there, but because I now have a whiteboard, I don't really have a need for it. So I just have a blank space which I'm gonna hopefully gradually fill up with pins. This is my current collection of pins. There is a couple of rude ones on there, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I love my pins and I hope I can eventually fill this whole board. I have kept the backs of them in another drawer on my desk, so if I did want to take them off and wear them or something, I can do. And then on this pin board I have a load of random stuff. I have things I've been sent, I have things on there that I've made. I just kind of add little bits and pieces that make me smile because it's obviously right in front of me on my desk, so I get to look at it every day. Before I get to all of that, I'm going to show you the boring stuff under my desk first because might as well get the boring stuff out of the way. So the desk itself is actually a dining table and it's from Ikea. The reason I chose a dining table instead of a desk is, one is durability. It's just a super sturdy desk. I knew that I'd want some sort of on-desk storage, so yeah, weight wise it can take a lot of weight. It also helps because I can actually get on top of it and get to the top of my washi shelf if I need to, so it does take my weight, which some of the desks I came across, I feel like some of them wouldn't take my weight if I needed to climb on it. The other reason is because it's a dining table, it does extend. This currently has one leaf in it, so you can see like the little split lines. I can actually extend this another chunk if I wanted to, but because I obviously need this little space for storing my lights and I also sit there to film, I have kept it a little bit shorter. But eventually if I move somewhere where I can have it fully opened out, I have that option, or if I move somewhere where it needs to be smaller, I can shrink it down. The chair I got from eBay, I did have a bigger chair, but it just was so chunky there and it just made no sense having it. So I got a smaller one that just kind of swivels and it's just a nice dinky chair. I also have a little box stool under there. This was from, I think, Elm. It's just a simple box stool. In here is where I put all of my paper scraps that go for recycling. So instead of bringing chunks of paper down after every project, because there's a lot of recycling that goes out of my room, I just bung it all in here and then go and empty it every now and again. Also, having that there means I don't have to constantly move my chair back and forward when I'm filming. I can just pull that out and sit on it and then do my filming and just move to here to edit. Underneath my desk is Bonnie's bed, so this is where she sleeps every night. It does make everything feel a little bit cramped when I'm sat here doing my work, but it is the best I can do right now. I then have a chest of drawers. The bottom drawer is my drawer, so that's like one of my bedroom drawers, so I've got like all my toiletries and stuff in there. But the top drawer is where I keep all of my chargers and stuff. I have my laminator in there and my Canon selfie and also a few photo props. On top of that I have a pile of like white paper. I have my box of tissue paper. I have some spare empty boxes. It's going to sound like I'm in a cave, but we are under my desk right now, so it's going to sound a bit different. Down here I have all of my 12 by 12 paper pads and also these ones at A4. I have my bag for my camera. I have some spare writing paper. I have a little Jammy Dodger tin that I don't want to get rid of and it's just there, it's not got anything in it. I have my laptop case and also like a desk. If I want to do work in bed, then it's like a desk. I don't know, you put it on your lap and it's got beans in the bottom of it and then a flat, I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it, but a lap desk. Yeah. Over here I've got my Paper Lovers books. Back there a bit I have some empty A4 notebooks. I've got some empty A5 ones here. There's just a load of like my bigger books that I've got. Above that, under there, I've got my Christmas box and another Christmas box, so it has all my Christmas supplies in. This case has all my TN inserts in and the box on top of that has my writing paper. So under here is pretty much stuff that I don't use all the time. So it's like spare inserts, spare notebooks, Christmas stuff. The most I use from under here is my 12 by 12 paper. I also have my wash bag on there, but I don't really have anywhere else to put that, so it's all a bit crammed in here, but yeah, I know where everything is. On my desk, on the left-hand side, I have my Cricut Maker. I also have a piece of mount board slotted down the side that I use to take photos. So when I'm doing photos, I set up my lights over here and I pull that piece of mount board out and just place it on the desk, because even though this is a white desk, it is actually cream in photos, whereas the mount board is like a proper, well, it's not a proper white, but it's more white than my desk. So yeah, so I have my Cricut Maker, which when I'm using it, I will pull it out and obviously leave some space behind it. I then have my little toolkit, which is so handy, and I recommend this to anyone who has a desk. The little toolbox itself is from Tiger, or Flying Tiger, and I got it a few years ago, so it's definitely not still available now. I added some little feet to it so it can easily like move across my desk without it scratching. But in here I just have my essential things that I use like every single day when I'm crafting. So I've got a glue stick, I've got tape, I've got my scissors, my stapler, I have my date stamp in there, some ink, my double-sided tape. I recently moved on to a giant roll which doesn't fit in here properly, so it's just hanging on the end like that. I then have my like on desk storage. So this little raised up thing is from Ikea again. This is from the Alex collection. I think it's just called an on desk storage system, I'm not sure. Obviously I'll have it linked below, I'll find the links and stuff for you, but this is so handy. It was kind of expensive in comparison to some of the other furniture that I bought for my office, but it's so worth it. I think originally it's for kind of like if you have an on desk like desktop computer. It has two drawers either side, and this drawer is my absolute mess of a drawer. I always have one of these. Even if I have it all tidy from the start, it will always end up like this. I'll always have a drawer that ends up looking like this. It's random stuff in here, but it's also stuff that I use. So for example, I have my ruler in here. I say use, there's some stuff in here that I really don't use, but I don't really have anywhere else for it. I've got my tape measure, I have my hard drives, I have spare sticky notes, I have some correction tape. Above that I have my go-to kind of like planners, journals, stuff like that. I have a pencil pot. I have a variety of different pens and pencils in there. This has a load of mapped and helix pens in, so they're just kind of plain felt tip kind of pens if I want to colour something in, and they're just stored in a little tin that had shortbread in it, but it fit them all in there perfectly, so that is now its home. I have some fake flowers from, I think I got them from Wilko ages ago, in a Ikea vase. I have this that I made recently over on my Instagram for Cricut. I have a little like Cricut highlights thing on my page for all the Cricut projects I do, so if you do want to see how this came about, you can go and have a look over there. Left to right over here I've got my travelling mail journal, which just has my finished travelling postcards in it. I then have my creative journal, I have my brain dump, I have my current creative journal insert that's almost finished and it doesn't fit in here anymore because it's so chunky, so it's just sitting there separate. I have my art journal slash whatever I want journal. I then have my gratitude journal. I have my minty blue B6 Kiki K, which has all my Patreon plans in. I have my accounts book, and then we go on to my rainbow drawers. I got these drawers from the range, but you can get them from Hobbycraft. They're by the Really Useful Box, and I think they were only about £10, might have been £12, I can't remember now. But you get 8 little drawers in them. I've used these for various different things. So I have my pens over this side, I have my stickers in the middle, and then I have a load of random stuff over here on the left. So an example of some of the random stuff, I have my batteries, which has like my SD cards, batteries, camera stuff in there. I've got my gelatos. I have just some random tools, and at the bottom I also have some journaling stuff. So this is where I keep all of the photos I need to journal. So I'll print them in bulk and I'll put them in here, so I always have something to journal if I want to. I have recently done a video on my sticker storage, so I'll leave a link to that video below. But yeah, I've just like organised the main chunk of my sticker collection into here. And then over here I've got a load of pens. The main ones I use are my black pens because I use those for all my art. I've mainly organised them into brands, so I've got my Sharpies, I've got my Papermate, I've got my Posca pens, my mile liners, and then friction pens at the top. On top of the drawers I have a few random things. I have a little calendar, an Animal Crossing calendar that my brother got me. I have some little figurines here. I have a rubber that says nope, and I also have a little ruler, which both of those came from a Paper Gang box. Behind them I have these, which I made for a Royal Mail little campaign that they're doing. So I made them, printed them, took photos of them, and now I just have them sat here and I don't really know what to do with them. They currently live behind here. I then have my mini guillotine set on here, which is so handy. I do also have a big one, but it doesn't stay on my desk. I have some little baskets that I use as on-desk rubbish bins. If I'm doing something for a video, I will pop one of those down and put my rubbish in it, so it's just a bit easier to tidy up afterwards. In the top one though, I do have my pastel pencils that I don't have a home for. Yeah, they're just sat in here waiting for a home. This is a little letter rack that I got from a charity shop, and it does say letters out and letters in, so it does have a bit of an organisation system. I just haven't followed it, but for now it just has a load of stuff in that is like Happy Mail related. Eventually I will get there and make it look a bit prettier, but for now that's just where it lives. And I think the thing I love the most is it fits on top of these little drawers absolutely perfect, and it's just super satisfying, considering I obviously got it from a charity shop, so I didn't know whether it would fit or not. Down the bottom in this little gap where I probably should be putting my laptop, but I don't. My laptop basically lives out here. I've just been looking up Animal Crossing stuff. But yeah, my laptop lives out here on this little craft mat. I don't really have any reasoning for having it on a craft mat. It's just kind of handy to have a craft mat there if I need it for anything, but majority of the time my laptop just sits on it like a little bed. So yeah, under here I have my big meat planner, I have my day-to-day planner, I have a load of paper, I have a little pile of note paper that I need to put somewhere else, but for now again it's just all together there so I don't lose it. I have this box under here that has all of my stamps and stuff in. On the top I have a load of little stamps that I've ripped off of letters that I want to put in my little stamp book. This drawer is pretty boring as well. It just has like a load of the little cellophane packaging things in, and also the blanks that I make for my little mini art pieces for Patreon. The little blue container is just my Tamagotchis. I didn't know where else to put them, so they live there. The last bit I have to show you is this area. Again, this is a Billy bookshelf, but this is just the wider ones. Before I get to that, down here I just have my bigger guillotine. I have my little iPhone, what do you call this, like gooseneck tripod thing? words, I don't know. But that's what I film when I'm filming like Instagram stuff, so it's on my phone straight away and I can edit it straight from there. I also have my heat gun down there. I have a load of wrapping paper. I have my Cricut mats hung up on there. They're just hung up there with a little command hook. And on this side of the shelf I have a load of postcards and stuff, which is kind of the equivalent of what I had when I lived up north on the wall in front of me. I've just moved all of that stuff to the side of here because I have my little cork boards up there now. Something that was super satisfying and really handy was the fact that I could put a shelf in this shelving unit that lined up pretty much with my desk. You're gonna get my shadow now, but in here I have another mess. So along here I keep my current Pip Sticks pack. I have a couple of these little pink folders that have like a load of stuff to journal from a specific thing. So this was from the big meet last year. I've also got my Edinburgh trip, and then yeah, I've got a load of like other little bits and pieces that are from certain trips I want to document. I think the blue bag has all the stuff from when I went to Retford. I've got my glasses case living there. I also have a fan, which was my grand's, and it's one of those ones that like you open out and then you kind of hold it and flap it. It's not an electric fan or anything fancy like that, it's just a hand fan. That's obviously been there since the summer and it's still there now, and I'll probably end up using it this summer. Next to all of that I have my Dymo printer. This is the printer I use to print my address labels. Stuff for my shop and my Patreon I tend to print on this unless I've only got like one order, in which case I'll probably just write the address rather than plugging it in and turning it on for one label. Yeah, I just end up writing the label. I then have this box, which is my overflow of washi tape, and I know there's more. I did originally have like all the washi tapes in here that I just didn't use that much, and then as I've got new washies and as I've used washies, I've just bunged them in here and not put them back on my shelf. Every now and again I'll go through here and try and add them back up over onto my washi shelf, but yeah, this is my washi overflow. Next to that I have my Ephemeral Box, and next to that I have my scrap paper box. So all of these are kind of things that I have been trying to use or use up. When I film my videos, these are like my go-to boxes that I drag out when I'm doing something creative. Above all of that I have my headphones for when I'm editing videos. I have this basket that has my smaller watercolour sets in and my brushos. This box is kind of a mess. I have my lollipop box from February on top of it. I've not yet sorted out and put away. For Patreon I have my Happy Mail tier, and for that I send out a package of Happy Mail each month to each of the people who are on there, and in that Happy Mail box I put things like doilies and twine and bits and pieces that people can use in their own projects. So each month I order in like 100 and something doilies and twine and bits and pieces like that. When they arrive I put them in here, so I've got them all together, and then I can go through and sort them all out when I'm packing them. That's also the reason I have this on my desk. I measure out lengths of twine and that is exactly a metre, so it's just easier for me. Next to that I have this box, which you will have probably seen before if you've seen any of my other desk tours. So when I get a pack of new die cuts I will pop them in one of these. I haven't really had any new die cuts in a little while, so a lot of these are getting quite low. I feel like I've just been using my ephemera boxes and stuff a lot more than I have brand new die cuts. I think when that starts to get a bit low I might refill some of these because I do love my die cuts. I really enjoy having them in my journals. I then have this shelf which has my large stickers in, and when I say large stickers, my large stickers are at the back, and then at the front I have a little box of smaller sticker sheets, and these ones are mainly alphabet stickers. So I've got a lot of alphabet stickers in here and also phrase stickers. I have 3 of the Pip Sticks notepads in here. I use these to make little origami letters for my patrons each month. I then have this box that has a load of phrase stickers and emotive stickers. It's also got my decorative tags, it's got a couple of bigger tapes, and also all of my mini journaling stuff, which I haven't done in a while, so I might have to do some of that again. And then in this box I have all of my sticker books. There's a variety of different ones in here. I have all of my American craft ones, and also all of my Pip Sticks ones are in here too. Going up a shelf I have this box which has my ribbon and twine. Again, this needs a big sort out but it's all in one place, so it's fine. I have a little tub of my 10 by 10 centimetre paper pads which are from Trimcraft. I have this little tub that has my bigger rolls of tape in, like decorative tape. Okay, I'm currently sat on my desk, which might strain my arms a little bit less rather than reaching over. In this little blue tray I have all of my kind of like liquid enamel 3D pearl effects, enamel effects, Nuvo drops, stuff like that, and also all of my roller stamps. And then next to that one I have all of my glitter and these little roller I don't even know what to call them. They're like correction tape, but they are decorative. They just live in there because they don't have anywhere else to go. Above that, I have a box of tags. I have my pro markers and some spare ink pads. I've got my enamel dots and gems. I have this, which is not my sticker stash. It's just a spare box that I used to bung a load of pens and pencils and random bits and pieces in. That's like one of my only not organised boxes that I don't really want to get rid of the stuff in it, but I don't really know where else to put it. On this shelf I have basically all of my stamping stuff. Both of these have clear stamps. This one has the bigger like A5 sized stamp, whereas this one has more of the smaller ones, and I have tried to organise them a bit into little plastic sleeves. I then have this box which has my alphabet stamps in, and they are wooden block stamps, and on top of that I have this box, and in here I have a load of ink pads, like my coloured ink pads. I have some other various like random not alphabet wooden block stamps. On top of that I just have a journal that I haven't put anywhere else. The top shelf is probably the messiest right now, but this is my finished / used journals. So I have journals on here from ages ago. My Auntie journal is up there, which I don't know if you guys have been around for that long, but I used to do videos on the Auntie journal. Love that thing. I also have stuff up here from events, so I've got a few photos from events. I have my little cup from a Trimcraft blogger event. That little black fluffy thing is actually a bumblebee, and that was from the Manchester Planner Bee. I think someone on our table made that, but I've kept it because it's just really cute. I have a couple of Pikachus. There's my Christmas planner, a scrapbook, a planner that I use as a journal. There's my Erin Condren planner from the Big Meat last year. There's just a lot of like old planners, old journals that I probably should box up so I have more storage space and can use this shelf a bit more practically, but for now that is where they all live. On the top of there is like stuff that I really don't need all that often. That box is full of my pen pal letters from when I did pen paling. That is a load of like document stuff, so I've got like my old GCSE certificates and like A-level certificates and stuff in there. I have a couple of ammo cans which I'm planning to turn into time capsules. I was meant to do that a year and a bit ago for my birthday and I just didn't, so yeah, but I've kept them, so eventually I will get around to doing that. And then I have my file folders which have all of my Patreon art and stuff in. So once I've done some art for 1 month I will pop it away up here, and yeah, that is the end of my desk. So that is my current desk setup. Hopefully it's given some of you some inspiration on how to set up your own or some storage ideas. I love figuring out storage. I'm just one of these people who really enjoys organising stuff. I will leave links below to as much stuff as I can. Some of them will be affiliate links. Pretty much all of the white storage systems, so the boxes, the shelves, stuff like that, it's all from Ikea. I've used this storage system for years now and I love it. Definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking for something that's not too expensive. But yeah, be sure to have a look down below for any more information. As always, if you do have any questions then you can leave them in the comments and I can answer them for you. I really hope you enjoyed seeing my little desk space. It's definitely not quite the same as I had before, but I'm making the most of the limited space that I do have. Thank you all so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.